All right, we starting with the energy. High octane. Hold on, let me take a sip of my WeWork cup, motherfuckers.
Holla.
Take a sip of this WeWork cup.
Oh my gosh, does it taste good?
That's a little parched. I'm good now.
It tastes just like it smells.
Yeah. Whoa. Hey, yo.
Shameless plug.
Shameless plug.
He is
Y'all know
definitely
the
on that
reference?
vibe.
Y'all know the reference? What was the reference?
I have not a clue. I have not a clue. It
What?
tastes like it smells. I don't know. It's like a Ben Stiller movie.
It's Dave Chappelle.
Oh.
My gosh. Lord have. Ooh.
I really thought you
know what?
would've
I
got
feel
that.
good. I stumped Nas.
Yeah,
I feel
yeah,
so
right.
good. I stumped Nas.
I really thought you would have got that. I'm kind of
Yo,
surprised.
Nas, it's
It's too-
because you've been gone. Are you
Yeah,
trying to
we're-
rejuvenate your youth?
Where were you last week while we were working, closing major deals?
We at the
huh?
porn store.
What were you
Nas?
doing?
What were you doing?
Oh, is that where I was at, motherfucker? That's where I
Oh,
was.
damn. Can't even get a reason why.
Yeah, I was in a dark alley somewhere.
Nasty Nas, ladies and gentlemen.
Nah, Nas was definitely trying to shop for his fit, and he went overtime.
Yeah, perusing.
Yeah, I like how y'all say I was like, oh, matchy. And old G.I. Brandon over here came in fatigued out.
Oh yeah, because I came ready for war.
Wait, you said G.I., Brandon?
Hey, yo,
'cause
hold
it
on.
sound-
Yeah,
it
wait.
sound a
Yeah,
little
wait.
bit
Oh, yeah,
different.
hold on. Yeah,
What it sound
Let's
like?
get that correct. G.I.
that can be misinterpreted. That's not my initials. I don't have a GI. I don't know what that is. I don't have any of that. So yeah.
Oh, what's wrong with GI?
Yeah, like I'm
No, it's
mad
the way that it
confused.
sounded.
Yeah.
I'm still lost.
Yeah, I'm perplexed.
That's all right.
Never
I'll tell you guys after.
Yeah.
Yeah, you.
Oh, jihad.
Oh my God. I was gonna say that.
Jihad's not a bad word.
That's several meanings.
It's
Come on, guys.
a mission.
It's to struggle. Come on, guys.
Yeah.
Never mind.
Come on, guys.
It's fine.
But did you miss me?
I'm on a jihad every
we
week.
did not.
Lies.
Yes, we did.
Yeah.
A little bit.
All right. Well,
bit.
before we might as well introduce the show.
Yo, why are you so calm? Put some little energy into that.
Damn,
Yep.
say it with your chest.
Yes.
chest?
Say it with your chest. Oh, Hollywood Hall over here.
Previously on Grassroots, I'm trying to do the intro. I've been working on this. Previously on Grassroots. And then it's like a blank, like it's just there. You know what I'm saying?
Dum, 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 dum.
Insert dramatic music. Grassroots Podcast, we are back, and yeah, we closed the deal. We got the bag. So yeah, that's what we did.
And when you say bag, it's no bag.
Yeah, it's really
Yeah, I was gonna say, wait a minute. we did?
Well, no.
It's a different kind of bag.
It's a different good job. It's a
It's
different
there.
kind
It's
of
a
bag.
level up bag.
It's definitely
you
a level
open up
up.
the bag and you take it out. You got the L, but it's not a lose.
Yeah.
It's a level up.
Yeah.
Bring.
Major moves. So be sure to subscribe, hit the notification button to be notified for the latest of the greatest episodes. Grassroots Podcast, one of the hosts, Brandon Killabh BH Hall.
I'm Erin Ashley Simon. Also, if you guys haven't seen already, we have a live show. The tickets are gone. They're free tickets, but that's okay. We have a wait list if you want to sign on to the wait list. And also, if you sign up to our newsletter, we're going to be having way more events later on next year as well. And that's where you'll find all the exclusive information right away. And
Yeah,
it won't.
definitely.
Some of them won't just be in New York City, so I'm just letting y'all know.
Yeah.
And I'm Erin Ashley Simon. I have to say that again.
Say that again. Yo, what's up? It's Gorilla Monsoon, Varnell Hill, the man of 1,004 aliases. What's going on, y'all?
Come on, a.k.a. Demographic Nas, a.k.a. Nasty Nas, a.k.a. Statistic Nas, a.k.a. Republican Nas.
AKA Essential Eric. I got you, man.
Wait. Yo, you got mad aliases.
1,004, man.
That's crazy.
Oh, wait, AKA the Black something.
Oh, yeah, Black Marty Jannetty. Come on,
Yeah,
son. You
Black
got that.
Gargamel.
Yeah,
Come
the
on,
Black
man.
Gargamel.
Black
something.
something.
Yeah,
There's
the
always
black
something
something.
that follows. It's like the blacks right always
Yeah.
before it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I'm Wilson.
We got to get Wilson some aliases.
I like it.
I like it too.
That is my alias. Somebody actually thinks my name is I Am.
Are you serious?
And then Wilson. Yeah.
Are you
Yeah.
serious?
Like a Tribe Called Quest. You got to say the whole thing.
That's what some guy put in the comments. I was like,
Yo,
This could be.
I want to know, because I have a question. How does it feel to be like so mysterious to a large group of people that are desperate to find out who you are?
and beloved.
Let's
Let's throw that in there too.
I think that's 50-50. That's 50-50.
Yeah, I was gonna say they either love you or just really
Yeah.
fed up with you.
Yeah, there's really no gray
I mean,
area.
that's what we go through
Yeah.
too. So,
Yeah.
It's okay.
but we still love you. We found you at Target.
Thank you.
So
Yeah.
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 The group chat loved that one.
Yeah.
Yeah.
they're like, They're like, who's Wilson? Where'd you find him? I said, we found him at Target. And then Wilson comes in with like a gif of like some dude sitting in a cart, and he's just like, Just wait, like I don't know.
They went wild.
Yeah.
They went wild.
I think it's funny that everyone thinks that everyone is Wilson, but like the real Wilson. Like they thought Chris was Wilson, they thought Kyle was Wilson, they thought Bam was Wilson. I don't know. They thought Kayla was Wilson. I don't know.
Who's to say they're not?
Huh?
Who's to say they're not?
That's true. Yo, you could be like in Walking Dead, you can be like Negan, like We Are Negan. Like everyone is like Wilson. That's fire.
I like that.
Yo,
I like that.
That's fire. Yo, I'm a marketing genius, man. I'm telling you, son. I'm telling you.
We are Wilson.
We are Wilson.
It's like that. It's like the movie. What's the Vendetta movie?
Come on, V for Vendetta.
V for Vendetta.
Yes.
It's like that. Where
Remember,
you're gonna have, like, the
remember the
blackness of your
5th
face.
of November.
See?
I mean, I was
I've been
already.
practicing.
Marketing.
I've been practicing. My impressions are
Don't
good. I've
ever
been practicing.
compare that man to V. Don't ever.
Wait.
compare
Why?
him.
Who? When we say V,
Wait. What V are you talking about? Nasty.
V from Vendetta.
Why not? He could 100%. That could be like that. I kind
you
of
know
like
how
that.
they have
Yeah.
the mask? It's like the mask. We're just saying.
Yeah.
It would just
Guy-
be like
Guy
the
Fawkes
darkness and like that photo we shared.
Yeah.
No, that's not him.
Oh shit.
Oh. Yeah.
Nas is hating.
Yeah,
but
a little bit.
It's okay.
A little bit.
It's all right.
So how do you guys feel? Like
I'm good, baby.
our first live show. I'm hyped.
It's gonna
Yo.
be big.
Can you see the hypeness? I'm hyped.
I'm good, baby. I'm ready.
You ready?
I'm ready.
Now y'all two have never been in front of
nervous.
Yeah, I was about to say I can see it. You guys have never been in front of some real lights. You two.
Yeah.
How are you gonna handle that?
Yeah, I have.
I'm not talking about squad car lights where you're being pulled over. I'm
yeah,
talking.
yeah.
I'm talking about.
He doesn't know, Will.
Tell the truth, Nas. Yo, Nas tried stand-up comedy one time.
Wait, what are you talking about? Hold on.
Wait, where the jokes? We gotta go.
Hold
Where
on,
the jokes,
hold on.
Nas?
I didn't have any. That was the problem.
You bombed?
He bombed.
Why didn't y'all invite me out? What are you talking about?
I
When
wasn't
was-
there.
He wasn't there.
When was this?
About four or 5 years ago.
Yo, that's shady, and I knew you. That's shady.
Yeah.
Extremely shady. I went by myself. It's
That's
just-
why he got shaken.
Oh, you didn't go with Amia?
Nah, I would have hit him with mad tomatoes.
I needed him there.
Damn,
Yeah, I
Nas,
bombed.
were you like the Joker when he did the stand-up? Was that you?
Nah, Nas was like Fozzie Bear.
There's an old joke that Ronnie Dangerfield says. He's like, I was so bad that I quit and nobody even knew. That's how bad I was. I
So
quit.
wait, when was this? Give us the rundown. This is great.
Oh no!
information.
When I tried, it was open mic night, and I got up there. Those lights was on, kind of like how Kyle got them shit set up right now. And I went and I started doing my material.
You remember your
But
joke?
No, because I didn't write anything down. I really didn't. I thought I was gonna go up there and start talking about
Oh, so
people.
you like
talking
the
about
kid
shit.
from Rhythm and Flow? You didn't write it down,
I went
huh?
up there and I was like, what's money from Clarence from 8 Mile? And I got up there and I was just like, and some dude was like, it's okay, take your time. And I was like,
Yo, anytime.
No, Nas, you couldn't even bring out a knock-knock joke? Like,
nothing. I was like, you know what I hate about people? And everybody was just looking like,
Yo, man, I'm just hearing this story. I would have booed the shit out of you. This is messed up.
you really never know how long 3 minutes, 4 minutes is.
Oh yeah.
no, you were definitely like Arthur, man.
Until you get up there and you have nothing to say for 3 to 4 minutes.
Yeah.
And
Yeah.
everybody's looking at you like, yee, boy, get the fuck off the stage.
Well, that's what I'm saying. These are some bright lights in here. There's some bright lights coming on November 14th.
Brighter.
Oh, yeah, no, but this podcast definitely helped. It definitely helped. Gave me,
Are you sure it's not the shades?
the shades definitely helped. I will be stunting on stage come November 14th.
Yo, I don't think fans can see without the shades on. Like everyone says, why didn't Nas have the shades on this week? That's really a thing for you.
Yo, you get to hide, man. You get to hide from who you really are.
Man, that shit got dark.
Yeah, right? Wow.
Yo.
Joker.
I
No, I
know.
was gonna say he's definitely Arthur.
That's
Like
Arthur.
you literally are just like spelling out your life as
Oh,
Arthur right now.
I'm sorry. I had a moment of clarity.
Yeah, word. Fuck.
The eye of the storm.
Yo, they want to know if I'm going to be potting behind a curtain like the Wizard of Oz.
Probably.
Or wearing a luchador mask.
Wizard of ass.
All good. I am the Wizard of Ass.
Yo.
That wasn't an insult.
Wizard of ass.
Wizard of Ass is hilarious.
Oh my
man.
god. I love how we can joke
Yeah.
like on each other.
I don't know. I think
I'll be fighting Nas after this podcast.
I know, 100%. I don't know. I think the fans that will be there and that can get in, like to E's point, we sold out pretty quickly. I don't think it hit me that day, right? Like me and E woke up like, yo, did you see the numbers? And I was like, yeah. And we sold out in less than 24 hours. Like, I applaud the fans or our supporters, yo. Like, real talk. Like, that's crazy.
Also, I think like Brandon and I we did like an Instagram ad and only put like $25 behind it. And like even with that, like our wait list is starting to build up tremendously. And like people didn't like our friends didn't even really share it yet. And it already went, it was done. I was like, dang, okay, never mind. But speaking about friends, Brandon, I actually have a question for you because this is just something I've noticed like continuously, like when we've been doing this whole podcast. Is how,
here we come.
No, it's not bad.
Okay.
About how like
let's think.
Everyone, like since we started, everyone constantly compares you to Joe. Mm-hmm. But it's like now you're paving your own lane. No, it's a compliment. It's a good thing. Because listen, like Common at one time. That one time.
And Ghost.
Relax.
And Ghost.
Yo, did I tell y'all sidebar? Did I tell y'all I was in the freaking bagel shop place? Yeah. And the woman said to me, "Hey, come here." And I was just playing with her, so I said, "Sure, I'm coming." But I whispered it back to her, and she goes, "Did anybody ever tell you look like Ghost with like a hybrid of Joe?" I was like, "No, I've never got that before, lady. Thanks." But go ahead.
Brandon St.
I guess we're
Patrick.
going to talk hybrid then. So, I mean, how does it feel for you to kind of like have your own lane paved? Because like even before people were like, "Oh, Joe Budden looking like this and that," and no, they said that. They had jokes for us for days when we first started. I can't lie. I look back at some of our old episodes. We were trash.
Yeah, we were trash.
But we're so much better now. I think we're so much.
We're way better now.
We're way better. But like for you, like how is it that you're able to pave your own lane and to know that like you really, like we really did this shit on our own. Like we had support of our friends and people, but we really did a lot of this stuff on our own.
Yeah. For me, honestly, I've heard it for so many years. Honestly, I'm so like if you come like that, it's like, all right, fam. Like you clearly are way unoriginal. Like that's like the obvious thing. Number one. Number two, we're friends, so I could care less. You know what I'm saying? Like the other thing is I'm not like I'm very thick-skinned. I think in this business you have to be thick-skinned. Yeah. Like you have to. So if I let like, oh, you look like Joe, or oh, you want to try to be like Joe, like anyone that knows me, I think even to our supporters, like there's a clear difference, right? You know what I'm saying? Like, sure, he's family. Like that's my friend. He's like a mentor, a brother, the whole nine. But there is a clear difference there, right? And even him, he'll often tell you that I'm corny. He thinks I'm the corniest person. He just happens to love me. But there's a difference, and I think as the journey to Nas's point, I think the more that I've been able to kind of open up to the fans as well as you guys, that people see the difference, right? Like there's a difference there.
Has it been weird that we sometimes had to cover things that he did because it's like because he's like newsworthy and when everyone covers, and that was like a weird situation that we were placed in before. It was like when he went viral, it's like we couldn't like not cover him. Like we had to cover what he said or did.
All right, so I'll just be transparent with you guys too.
Yes.
Every time you guys would post something and like I would see that something was happening to him, I'd be like, please don't let it be that. Please don't let it be that. Just because I never wanted to like sacrifice like our content. You know what I'm saying? Based off of my relationships, right? And that's a respect thing above all of just more so like an integrity thing for me. So there are times where we've had to talk about it, you know what I'm saying? Or just talk about shit. And that's what it is. He knows that. And he's dissed us on his show, you know what I'm saying? Like, but it's love. The difference is when it's the messy things, for me, it's been tough, like reading the comments still, because again, taking myself out of like the show component and thinking about my friend, it's like, ugh. Yeah. All right, we'll be all right. Like, we'll figure it out type shit. So it's times like it's so many just even outside of Joe, like even the shit with Royce and like that whole, I don't think people knew that whole Slaughterhouse shit was really, really tough. Cause you cool with everyone. You've worked with everyone. You know what I'm saying? You've been on tour with everyone. You know what I'm saying? And it's like, damn. And then knowing each side almost, and then knowing the variables that no one knows, but that I'm privy to, it's challenging. It's like, I don't know, but fuck that shit. We here. Like, I don't, like
You're a good dude.
I mean,
like,
yeah. Honestly, I don't even think that you would get the comparisons if you didn't like have the same beard. Y'all should have went to 2 different doctors for your beard implants. Because that beard's not real, buddy.
you're so mad that your beard doesn't connect. Right? It's just so bad.
Yeah.
But that was a good question.
Yeah, you know, I think there's so many different aspects that we haven't really discussed, right? Because like you out the gate, you got that comparison, right?
Yeah.
And then like people were like, for me, everyone was like, oh, she's trying to be like Nadeska, she's trying to be like this person and that person.
Yeah,
Not even knowing that I've been in the media world for
I was
like
about
10
to say
years.
the Nadeska shit was shocking because remember when that first started happening, it was like it was something that happened with Joe. Now thinking about it, it was something that happened.
Just because we're both light skinned, that's it.
And that's really what it was.
That's pretty much it.
legitimately
I don't
what it
look
was.
anything like her.
Light skin problems.
I know.
It really was though, but no,
First world problems. Yeah.
it was something that happened with Joe, and,
complex.
and they saw us.
It was a complex thing. Like when I think when
Oh,
Joe,
when he left. When he left.
When he left.
Yeah, but there was what happened.
He left.
It might have been what it was when we had a really really big moment, and then our clip got shared like crazy.
Sci-Hi?
And I think it might have been Sci-Hi. Whenever that episode was, it was that episode that they started making the comparison to Nadeska, and I'm like, yo, you've been in this shit for mad long. Like,
I know. And this is listen, guys, there's no shade to Nadeska.
Yeah, no,
it's just
no
this
shade.
is a comparison that people had with us that like till this day I don't quite
It's only because
understand or see. It's because you look like
he looks like Joe.
Yeah.
And yeah,
Yeah.
both had the podcast. So.
But it's crazy though. It's crazy how with this podcast that like we've been like I mean, you guys are a little more new to the scene, Wilson and Nas, but like Brandon and I have been in the scene for like 10 plus years. I mean, him is more on the artist side, mine is more on the media side.
Yeah.
But it literally felt like we were starting over again. Like there's plenty of people that didn't like have no idea about my journalism career. Like no idea that I've written and did work for the Wall Street Journal. Like no idea that I did work for various different media platforms. And just like to kind of like it's kind of in a way, it's kind of like a humbling experience.
Yeah.
Because it's like all that time, all that work we put in, it's like we're starting on a new, fresh plate, and we have to treat it as such and rebuild it. And occasionally we can throw in some of the stuff we used to do as like ways to like confirm things that we know and et cetera. But even still, I thought that was really interesting how like we literally had to start from scratch. And also for the people to be super surprised about some of the guests that we've had on, it's like that stems from our previous work experience. Like,
well, that was the thing I think. Even early on, like I don't know what fan went on a rant just because we had our own opinions about an episode. It was something that we talked really seriously about on the show, and that fan went on a tyrant of just a number of comments that led him to say that we were buying guests, and I was insulted by that. I was like, wait, what? We're buying guests? So I think from that point, I kind of started to throw caution to the wind a little bit and just wanted us to just be us. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Like I felt like the moment we gelled and like how we just rocking right now, like we just know each other. It just took time for us to do that. And I think once we got that, nothing else mattered. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Like before them comments, we used to be like, yo, why would they say that? I'm such a great person. Like I would never, you know what I'm saying? And now we'd be like, all right, let's skip that one. Like, you know what I'm saying?
yeah.
Talk to me about that for us as a whole. Do y'all think that as time has passed, you think that you've built up, I guess, a different layer of protection from just idiots?
I've always had thick skin, personally. Those comments get fucking mean.
yeah.
Some dude say he's gonna piss on my grave.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, I did see that one.
I saw that.
I sent you that. I sent you that one.
So I'm in a race with that guy. See who dies
That
first.
was a lady.
Yeah.
That was a lady who said that.
Oh yeah, that was.
Yeah,
that's
one.
Oh, she was gonna pop
she
a
said
squat.
that. I remember that because it was something having to do with religion when we were talking about Kanye, and she said that it was some shit having to do with a cult. And your rationalization about the whole Kanye shit was actually a really, really good point. I think she misinterpreted the what you were trying to say, and then she obviously just went to the next level and wished death upon you.
Yeah, that happens a lot.
Yeah,
That was funny though.
Yeah.
Hilarious.
Yeah, I think that, I mean, you have to have thick skin in this business, right? Because even when we were like, when we first started out, we were very more mindful of how we explained things and how we gave our input.
Yeah.
And people still, like, we were trying to put it in the nicest way, and people still had problems with us. So we got to the point where we're like, all right, forget it. We're just going to just say it just straightforward, etc. You either take it, you either don't. And a lot in this industry, you'll notice that people take things out of context. There's been plenty of times that things were taken out of context for what we were saying, but you can't get just sprung out on that. You just kind of have to take it with a grain of salt and just move on, because the one thing that we've learned, and especially from people who we know in the industry who watch our program and tell us, like, those same people are going to still be watching your show.
100%.
So no matter what, they're still going to be around.
What's going to be interesting is the live show, because we're going to get instant feedback.
Yeah. Yeah. Yo, not for nothing. That's gonna be my favorite part. It's just for that brief minute where we could just look fans directly in the eyes before doing the show and then after doing the show, like, just to see that. Also, and this is me being mushy, I can't wait to see y'all family members come and support y'all. Like,
that's why I got you, bitch. Family ain't coming.
Significant others, friends, or whatever. And the only reason because
He said none of them.
like
Nobody.
Me and Eve, we obviously, you know, our families know, like, in depth, right? But a lot of you have all said, like G said the other day, he was like, you know, my parents are gonna come. They're finally gonna get to know what I do, because they just think I'm a loser. And I'm just like,
why do I feel like G didn't say that last part?
Yeah, that last part was not me.
I feel like he improvised that.
Let me be clear. I definitely
going off the cuff.
I definitely went off the cuff with that. But
That was not scripted.
I definitely went off the cuff. That
It made a good story, though.
Yeah, you gotta embellish. If I really said what G said, he was just like, yo, my parents are coming. They'll see what I do. Like, that's not gonna be fun. Like, come on.
It's gonna be fun. You're not a loser.
Yeah.
You spiced it up.
No, but seriously, G did say that. Not the loser part, obviously, but he did say it. And I thought that was dope, though. You know what I'm saying? Like, for him to be able to get that moment, and obviously that means something to him. You know what I'm saying? It means something to obviously let his parents know, his family, like, I'm working on something important and is doing well. Yeah. Like, to see that reaction that they'll get seeing him working it, like, even for Chris, even for Kyle, like, everybody, that's what I'm really, really happy for.
Good for you guys.
Honestly.
Good job.
Yeah. Also, another thing too is we're proving that it's not at the end of the day just about numbers. Because throughout the entire experience, I mean, even when people were like, "Oh, you guys aren't making a whole lot of numbers. You guys," it's not always about numbers. And I hope people who are watching this realize that it's not about numbers. It's about how you sell yourself.
Yeah.
It's about how you develop storytelling. It's about how you do the content. Like, a lot of people think that well, actually, let's start off with this. A lot of people think that we don't do research. We do. We mess up. We're human beings. We mess up. But we actually put a lot of work behind this. We don't just show up and just be like, all right, guys, what are we going to talk about? Let's just shoot the rip.
Yeah.
There's so much, and I'm not going to break it down because you got to pay us for that. Like, that's the whole strategy. But what I will say is it's a lot of work that goes on behind it from the entire team to prepare for every single show.
Yeah.
It's basically like a weekly audition.
Yeah.
You're auditioning every single week.
Yeah.
It really is.
So.
Great, Wilson.
Yeah, man.
Perfect way to put it.
That really is
he's right.
he is really right, though. Like,
Yo, Nas hating so hard. So hard. It's the fucking shades, man.
yo, I ain't gonna lie, you've been going at his neck since the beginning of this show.
I missed you guys.
Oh, okay.
All right, I take that.
man.
I take that. We
He's
missed you.
lying.
Man, nobody answers my text, so
That's not true.
that's very true.
Well,
I definitely sent a text earlier today and got no.
Oh, yeah, he did.
Did you send something about Pastor Wilson?
Nah, 2 episodes. Pastor Wilson was wilding. That man had the devil's tongue.
Yeah.
But everybody's going to show up for Sunday service. You know that. They're going to be lining up outside.
Yeah, he was exercising that pussy, boy.
Could you imagine you going to service at a church and then that shit is like when you're giving the offering? It's like, fam, whoa.
Y'all saw his rebuttal?
I didn't see it, no.
Where he was like, what did he say? He was like, I love women like a real man. And some shit. Like,
that was his, that was his excuse. That's terrible.
yeah, he was wild.
He's keeping it 1,000. Pastors are human too, though. Come on, man.
Yeah, but it wasn't his. It was his
keeping it
wife.
real
I know. I was just.
That's the problem.
Yeah, I know.
Keeping it real goes wrong.
Yeah, he kept it 1,000.
Did you think she used a tripod? That was a pretty stable camera.
You need to relax. You need
You think
to
she used a
relax.
tripod for that camera?
You need
It's
to
pretty
relax.
stable.
It definitely was not shot like the run of the mill amateur video.
It was pretty stable.
Yeah.
She must have had one of those
They had
stabilizing.
lights.
She definitely
Yeah.
had one of those stabilizing.
The lighting was
for
great.
iPhone
They had a
or something like
production
that.
team.
Yeah.
She had like one of those grips for the iPhone. That was pretty stable.
Yeah, you can hear everything. It's like somebody was standing back there with a boom, with one of those boom mics.
Yo, but the other thing, y'all playing, I could see him going and go get a check from Pornhub. In this day and age,
He could.
In this day and age, I'm telling you,
He's not doing all that.
why not?
He's not going to do all that. He's embarrassed a little bit.
Nah.
I don't think so.
He didn't. It didn't look like he had
I
an
don't think
ounce
so.
of remorse.
No, in the moment, no. But yeah, after he sits back, I don't think he's going to. You just going to leave the whole congregation just to go get a check from the adult film industry?
He could.
I mean, listen.
I mean, he could theoretically. Yeah, he
Listen,
could.
Jesus Christ accepted everyone.
Facts. I'm just saying. Speaking of acceptance, I got a question for you.
Oh Lord. What is this? What am I accepting?
It's nothing. Whoa. No,
An award?
Yeah, no, it's stupid. An award? No, it's a serious question though. You've had a lot of issues like in media as a woman. Do you think your journey now with this milestone, do you think it's going to get easier or harder?
It's not. I mean, it's never gonna be easy. Because think about it. You know, whether people there are certain people that will have issues with me because I'm a woman, and there were people actually who had issues with me because I provided the woman perspective in some of the conversations that we had.
Yeah.
And mind you, half of these people have never even met you, don't know anything about you. It's just-
Which is fine,
Yeah.
right? I'm used to it. Like I encounter that even in the gaming world. There's always gonna be crappy people. There's always gonna be bad apples no matter where you go. But
Yeah.
I think the most important thing is that I am showing that like I'm gonna be me at the end of the day, and you either gotta accept it or not. Like think about it. Like in this entire industry, it's all about women's appearance, right? There's some days where I show up on our podcast, I'm like, you know what? This is our shit. I'm not gonna be dressed like I don't feel like dressing out. I'm gonna wear my bandana, which they like, by the way. I gotta trademark that. Big old bandana. But like,
You gotta get a grassroots bandana.
I know I gotta get the
bandana.
grassroots bandana.
Yeah.
But I think the most important thing is just I kind of was already prepared for this because I've already experienced it through the work that I've done in media. Like people are like, oh, you don't know what you're talking about. You're a woman. You shouldn't even be talking about hip hop. You shouldn't be talking about this. Like it's so much crazy stuff like
The
that.
misogyny.
But I think like the most important thing is like for me at the end of the day, it's just showing that like you can make something out of nothing and have it be
Facts.
successful. But what people have to understand is that you can't just have creativity and think that you're going to be successful off of that alone.
Yeah,
I think a lot of times people are just so focused on creativity, make it so creative, but they don't understand that there's strategy, there's structure, there's business. Like even though, like I'm going to reiterate, even though we look like sometimes we don't have structure, guys, there's a lot of structure that goes behind our show.
Yeah, definitely does.
But that's what allows us to be as free as we want to be. And of course we slip up because we're independent. We don't have the support of some of these big platforms where they can have an assistant do certain things, right? I mean, Chris helps us, but even we all have day jobs, right?
Yeah.
So I don't even look at it as like a struggle of being a woman. I see it more of like a struggle of being like an independent platform.
I like
with
that.
just some trickles of issues with me being a woman. Because for the most part, I don't see a lot of whole comments about me being a woman. I think if anything, people are like, Erin's a good representation.
Well, that's the thing I've
you know?
seen. Remember early on, you used to get bashed pretty bad early on in the show.
Yeah, but those were like, I mean,
and some of those were naysayers. They had trickled in.
They didn't know
from,
anything about me. They didn't
yeah.
know my background. They didn't know, because the funny thing is, the second that certain notable people started mentioning us, people's tone changed a bit.
Yeah.
But I understand that's the industry. Like some people will rock with you because they rock with you. Some people won't rock with you until someone else notable rocks with you.
True.
That's just how the industry
That's true.
is.
That's very true.
So yeah, I mean, we both were getting bashed. You and I were getting bashed tremendously until
Yeah.
Wilson came into the story, and then they went after him, and then
Took
after
all-
that,
diverted
then they came
all
back to us
that
two.
bad energy.
It's the truth. But did you notice that Nas never gets bashed? Do you realize
No,
that?
he did. There's maybe
Well,
two
outside of
times.
that one dude that was killing you like for like 4 weeks straight. You remember the one dude? Like he kept commenting like, "Yo, I don't know why he's there. He doesn't listen to music. He doesn't do anything." Like no one respected that.
Republican.
Talk to
That guy's an idiot.
How dare you Republican?
Oh yeah, that's such a bad word.
Yeah, but so look, so talk to me about you a little bit, right? Because this is a big thing for you. A lot of people don't know that you're really like a guarded person, like the shades, like your demeanor, like even your interaction with people. You don't have a close knit with people. Like you're very a guarded person. How is it like opening up for you and now about to go do a live show in front of people? Like talk to me about that. How
It's
you
just
feel?
one side.
Okay.
Can't let everybody see everything, right?
Yeah.
No, man.
That's too late. We've already seen it.
No, man. Yeah. But you know, it's weird because this helps a lot. And even it's when I was talking to my mother last night, and she was like, "Yo, I didn't think you were ever gonna get married." Me and your sister were talking.
Yeah.
You just don't like people.
And you're also a sexual deviant, but go on.
Yeah, but you know, I don't know. I don't know how to answer your question because it's just like.
All right, so let me simplify because I know that that's a complicated question. Do you, kind of similar to E, right? In this transition, because this is going to be a major transition for you, right? What do you think, or how do you anticipate what comes? Like, how do you, I guess, gear up for whatever comes after this?
I'm gonna be honest, I'm a little nervous only because I want to do well.
Okay.
Like everybody in this room, I want to do well, and I don't want to let any of you down. Outside of this room, I could really care less what people think.
Okay.
Because I was born in the hate.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Yeah, you think I played?
Dripping the hate sauce.
I know.
I was. You know how like Bane was talking.
That's what
Batman?
you didn't just hear my
That's
reference.
it.
I just hold on. Don't disrespect me. I just did a great job at a Bane
did.
impression. I said
I don't
I was
know.
born in it.
I don't know about the great job.
I was born in it.
Let's not throw that word around.
Nas, you can sleep easy tonight. Rest assured, you've let me down many times. Okay?
No, but
The live show, it won't be the first.
Yeah, no.
You're talking to a dude whose
good.
grandfather walked right past him, and he lived two houses down from him.
Well, I've said this enough, and I love the Whippers. I say it enough. The Whippers.
That wasn't a whipper. That was my mom's dad.
Oh shit! Damn.
Like that's a true story. Like the dude walked right. I was like, "Yo, what up, George?" And he kept walking.
Yeah, but I can see you doing that at an older age. I could 100% see you seeing me on the street and walk right past me. I could see that.
Yeah, but you're not my grandson.
I would say, how old were you?
I was how was I, like 14, 15?
Oh, slap him.
Wait, what?
Slap him.
Well, he's dead now. So
So yeah,
And you never got a chance to slap him. Now you have to live with that for the rest of your life.
no, I didn't slap George.
You should have slapped the shit out of George.
Nah.
Your grandfather ignores you on the street.
Yeah, that
So
was
you're-
I'm pretty sure he ignored you pretty much your whole life.
Yeah.
Yeah, fuck him up.
Like we didn't. I couldn't call him grandpa.
So you
He
want to
called him
snuff a
George.
grandfather?
Why? His name was George. You call him grandpa.
Yeah, you can't slap that man. You can slap him.
No, if you called him grandpa, you'd be like, "Yo, my name is George."
Nas's grandfather, George.
Slap your grandfather?
So quick
Yeah.
recap. Yeah. So quick recap while you stepped out for a second. Yeah. Long story short, Nas's grandfather walked past him on the street and neglected him his whole life. Wilson here gave the great advice of snuffing his grandfather. So yeah, that's where we're at.
Why
in
not?
life.
Well, he's dead. So
Like, if you're gonna snuff,
and then we found that out that he's passed.
yeah. You all these little comments that like, oh, Nas is stupid. He's Republican. I don't get. My grandmother called me a fucking ingrate. Like that was her exact words. You
Legit.
motherfucking ingrate.
Yeah, your family is great.
You gotta
I ain't
make
gonna
sure.
lie.
Yeah. No, she's dead too. So
Oh my God! All right, this is
Whoa, this is crazy.
this is getting
is that on your mom's side or your dad's?
my mom.
Yeah, your mom's side is
rough.
tough.
Yeah, they don't fuck around.
That's
now
a
hold
tough
on.
side,
now,
man.
Is that the other forementioned cousins that you've mentioned on the show before? Is that on your mom's side? Or is that
No,
your
no,
dad's
that's my dad's side.
So wait, both sides?
Yeah, I'm
Did
ready
you
for
snuff them? That's why?
that. Who?
Did you snuff your family members?
I mean, I tried once or twice, but I was always the youngest up until a couple of years ago. I tried. Yeah, but you know what, Mama? I didn't care if I got beat up. So I'm gonna get
Yeah,
my point
I was that
across.
kid. I was that kid. Yeah, I was that kid.
Fuck,
Yeah.
That's how my lip got like.
fuck you and the horse you rode in on.
Yeah.
So
I cared about getting beat
I got a
up.
question for you three because this is something that has been pointed out in terms of your guys' perspective when it came onto certain topics, especially when deal with women, and how some people felt like. I don't know what the best wording is.
Just say it.
Like I'll just okay. Because I can't think. No, like they were like you guys were
What did you just say?
misogynistic when people were making mention. No, you remember how people were saying that?
If I had pearls, I would clench them.
No. But I'm not saying that you
Yo,
guys
I'm bringing
are
Brandon some pearls next week.
I'm not saying that you guys are. That's not my personal opinion.
No,
But
I know
there
you.
have been
I'm saying
people.
fans.
There have been certain people
Do
that felt a
tell.
certain
I want
way.
to know.
It was in the comments for before. Like it was like a while ago that people had some problems when because we were making more so for
I
you.
forgot exactly what topic it was, but that did happen.
Yeah, it did happen.
And I was actually defending women, I believe.
I've never put down women on the show.
Yeah, I'm a defender
I
of
am appalled.
All females.
But I think it's also because we have 3 guys and 1 woman, but we actually have women on our team. Hey.
Yeah.
Shout out to Michaela over here. And
Word.
also, we have a dear friend named Lyric Perez who'll be
Yeah,
helping us on our live
Lyric is
show.
on board.
Yep.
So we getting more women up in here. But no, but I'm serious because it's like we have these tough conversations where, we all have our different perspectives, and for the most part, even though like when we are having these conversations and we kind of like yell at each other, etc., like we're not really actually mad, we're just passionately talking.
Yeah.
But there have been some conversations where whether it was about you know, I don't know, porn or something else. These conversations may feed these. No, because there are people there. Wilson definitely has said some interesting things, but in the sense of like how people have felt like your guys' perspective towards women or your guys' perspective towards the LGBTQIA community and et cetera. Like, how are you guys able to, I guess, like maneuver these conversations when we have those conversations, but then also, you know, deal with I wouldn't even call them repercussions, but deal with certain things after where it's like people are going to have certain perspectives of you no matter what when it comes to those specific topics. And does that even affect your lives at all?
I mean, I'll go first. For me, I think I do a great job of representing women. I don't ever really put down women on the show. In fact, I think we take pride in trying to get more women on the show. Women acts, like for example, like Essence came on last week, right? Mm-hmm. To the naked eye, or for a first time listener that maybe watched 4 other episodes that saw Royce or saw I don't know, like some other artist on the show, and then seeing Essence, you know, people would look at it like that don't make sense. But for us, it made sense. That's a black woman that is now the director at BuzzFeed Beauty. That's admirable. Mm-hmm. You know what I'm saying? And I think even with a lot of the topics that we've covered with women, we've always just tried to have an even keel of seeing both perspectives, right? And then obviously outlining, for the most part, there's only maybe 2 times where we didn't really roll with the women, and then most people later on getting the rest of the information didn't roll with the women, like the Robert shit. A lot of us is like, some of those stories are sketchy, or some of them don't make sense. And then it came out that, yeah, a lot of that stuff was fabricated, or a lot of the stuff that the reports that were coming out, a lot of the girls that were affected by the whole situation, they were the ones that were kind of like, well, yeah, no, we're fine. So that, you know, outside of that, I think to our core fans like that know us, that we've never, at least I don't feel like that.
Well, Nas, what about you? You got kids, like
I have daughters, yeah.
Yeah, and you know,
that's the other thing I think is crazy. Like, you have daughters.
You
like,
have, yeah, but but I'm saying, like, you have kids. Like, I mean, they're young now, but eventually they're gonna get to an age where they're gonna see this content. They're gonna see you talk about these things. So I'm curious, like, what are your thoughts on that?
He doesn't care.
I don't. This is me. Like, at this age, this is how my perspective was. Now, 7 years from now, it may change. 20 years from now, it may change. I'm not gonna sit here and apologize because I like watching women engage in coitus on film. I'm not gonna sit here and apologize because coitus? I don't believe
that's a good word.
Every woman, when she comes out and says something happened. And now if you have evidence that something happened, yeah, I'm on your side, but I'm not gonna sit here and suck the metaphorical teat of just every woman that comes by because she said it, her word is gold. Yeah. That's not who I've ever been. That's not how my mother raised me. That's not how my aunts raised me. And these are educated women, from assistant principals to lawyers. I'm not going to sit here and just say like, oh, well, you know, women just need to be barefoot, pregnant in the kitchen. That's not my style. If you're intelligent and you're articulate, you can still be sexy. And I'm going to appreciate all 3. Mm-hmm. You know what I mean? But I don't know. If my daughter see this, then they ask me questions, then I'll answer it. The same way my parents were truthful with me. They didn't hide anything from me. My aunts didn't hide anything from me. Yeah. They said, this is who we are. Either you like it or you don't. I can't really do anything if you don't like it. So.
Yeah. Wilson, does it ever bother you that you may not be able, at least for right now, that you may not be able to let people know who you are?
I mean, I'm okay with it because there's a reason why I'm back here. The sexual energy would be off the charts if I was on camera. Seriously. So that's that. They were asking why I'm not on camera. They're gonna go see the answer.
Yo, you're the greatest person I've ever met in my life, yo.
Electrifying.
Oh my god.
Oh my god, you guys are crazy.
What about you? You got bashed by the male community too. They thought you were a man hater, and you know how they normally do, like what they normally do with like strong just women in general.
Yeah.
they automatically think that they're scorned and think that because of that they just hate all men.
No, say that shit. Brandon, black women. That's what they think. Strong
No, that's
black
women. That's women in general. Like how do you overcome that?
Are black
I
women
mean,
man haters?
People are going. The one thing I've learned, especially growing up, now mind you, like I've been doing therapy since I was a kid, so I know myself better than most people know themselves. And I think that a lot of times when people feel a certain way, they project their own feelings. And it has nothing to do with me. It has everything to do with potentially how they feel about something. But then also, like, unfortunately, there are just men that just don't respect women.
Yeah.
Period. It doesn't matter how intellectually I'm discussing something. It doesn't matter if I have an actual good viewpoint. They don't. And a lot of people are afraid to look at the closets in their own, the skeletons in their own closets. So my mom is always, like, my mom's a strong-minded woman, right? She's Puerto Rican. She was a single parent at one point. All this stuff. And she always taught me that, like, don't back down from what you believe in. Yeah. Obviously, like, you need to believe in positivity and, like, good things. But don't back down because of how someone may feel about what you have to say. Yeah. If anything, you getting responses back means that you're actually, what you say matters. If what I said didn't matter, they wouldn't be saying any of that. They wouldn't care. Yeah. But because clearly it matters to somebody or to them or to our fans that they're making that response. And look, Serena Williams is one, and I keep always saying this, Serena Williams is one of the greatest athletes of all time. I'm not even going to say women athletes. She's one of the greatest athletes of all time, and she's still getting problems. Yeah. She's still getting issues.
That's a really good point.
So it's just like, if she's going to get all that stuff, then a lot of us are going to get it. And yeah, do I also think that part of it has to do with me being a black woman? Yes, I do.
100%.
I do. It 100%. Has to be. Because if it was someone else, I don't think necessarily that I would have gotten some of the things that I've gotten. Yeah. But, and not to say that, like, if I was fully Puerto Rican or anything like that, there's problems in, like, being a woman, there are challenges, there's obstacles and stuff like that.
You're just owning your ethnicity and what it is. Yeah,
it's just like, for me, it's like this is our platform. Like, I'm going to speak for what I believe in, and I'm going to say what I think. And at the end of the day, it's like, if you don't like what I have to say, make your own podcast. Like, we did that. We thought that there was a void in the podcast where we felt like there's a void in certain areas, especially when it comes to talking about taboo topics, whether it is like sexuality or mental health and stuff like that, and tying that to hip hop, tying that to certain topics that are important. And we felt like there was a void, so we took that upon ourselves to do something and to talk about it. You may not always like our opinions, but at least you can respect the fact that we went ahead and made our own thing and didn't wait for someone else to do it for us. Facts. Because everyone wants to not everyone, but people want to complain about not having the platform when it's like, yo, there's so many tools and things that you can do to create your own. So if you don't like what we have to say, create your own content piece, create your own. And I'm not even saying that in a way where it's like I'm hating or anything. I'm like, yo, like, challenge us, create your content piece, try and build it and make it big, and then say that we're wrong. Like, just go and do that. But there's always a bigger picture. And I think with our podcast too, that's another reason why, like, I don't really care that much about what some people say about us and et cetera, is because I see the bigger picture of where we're going and what we're doing and the conversations that we're having with people. Yeah. And so I'm willing to go through the moments where people are going to get upset and to get to the amazing period. I mean, every single notable person in media has had people, like, shit on them. So it's kind of like an initiation period.
Yeah, definitely. I got a question for you because you just sparked a question just based off what you said about comments. This is for Wilson, right? Yeah. This is a serious question. No bullshit.
Very serious.
I'm putting on my serious face.
Now having to, I guess, even open up for you, because I think I've seen a growth in you, right? Opening up and really expressing yourself and your thoughts. It's been time and time again where a number of listeners or viewers will be like, yo, Wilson is a plant, or he's a troll, or that's not his real thoughts, or he's only just saying things for clickbait. Like,
happened last week with Essence.
Yeah, right. Talk to us a little bit about that, like, because I think I really do think there is a misconception that you are on this show and these are not, like, your real emotions or your real thoughts. So talk to us a little bit about that, and how does that kind of make you feel, like when you're going through trying to articulate how you feel about something, whatever that may be. It could be about Kanye, it could be about women, it could be about whatever, but you're passionate about it, and then there's weeks where fans will think that it's legitimate, and then there's weeks where fans will think that it's illegitimate.
Well, I mean, people always get mad when you say something that they're not used to hearing, when it's a situation when it's a matter of opinion. Mm-hmm. That's when people get really angry. Like if I say Prince's music is not good, I can say that. That's my opinion. And there you go.
He's trying to trigger me.
No, I'm just saying.
You're trying to trigger me.
I don't think it's good. I respect him as a legend, but I don't think his music is good. Both things could be true to me. People get upset about that.
I want to punch you in the face right
I know.
I want to punch you in the face right now.
But that's how I deal with it. I just don't care. Mm-hmm. Like if somebody's upset about that, that's fine. You're allowed to be upset.
Yeah.
You're allowed to disagree with me. Tell me why he's good. Point out some songs that I might like, which nobody could ever do because they're not good. But so, I'm just fucking around. With that, I'm fucking around. I know that Prince is good. Just not for me. And that's the answer.
I love how you point out your ears and no one can see it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay, that makes sense.
That makes sense.
That makes sense.
I mean, also that's the thing too. Like, it's so weird how I've had conversations with people where it's like yo, why do you guys not always agree on things? Mm-hmm. I'm like, that's not the point of our podcast. Like, we're not here to always agree with each other. I think having multiple perspectives and thoughts and opinions is what drives conversations and drives, like, whether people get mad or not, they're still continuing these conversations on other platforms. They're continuing these conversations with other people. Yeah. I think, honestly, our content would be crap if we all agreed on everything all the time.
Yeah, it'd be trash. On top of that, if you look at the comments, people comment when they don't agree with you.
Yeah.
That's when you get the most comments.
I don't know. There's this one guy. I forget his name. I'm going to shout him out. I'm sorry. I don't remember your name on YouTube. But he's always like, great show, guys. Loved it.
Oh, yeah.
Shout out to him. He's always positive. He's like...
Shout out to that guy.
He's like... No, but honestly, like... shout out to him. Shout out to him. I mean, we'll have Chris or someone else comment back to him to let him know that that's him. But no, I think that's dope where it's like, yeah, they're going to always comment when they don't agree on something. But there are some fans that just literally are just like, we're proud of you. This is great. Keep going.
Yeah.
And you guys, like, I don't think they realize how much that's like empowering to us. Because there are times where we feel like, are we doing this right? Are we going about this right? Are we structuring right? Is this rundown good? Are these the right topics that are important to our fans and stuff like that? Like, we really try to make this about the fans. Obviously, it's our own opinions, but we really try to make this about the fans.
Yeah.
And so, like, just to see that and just see that, like, even if it's just one comment, two comment of just positivity, like, that just, it helps invigorate us, reinvigorate us.
Yeah. I think even with where we started, like with all the topics we've covered, like...
Oh my God, in that studio, that photo.
Oh man, do you remember? Whew. Yo, when we first started to where we are now, it's a big difference. We was the struggle cast. God damn.
Yeah.
To now, I'm honestly just grateful, man. I'm happy that, like, all jokes aside, like, we doing it like as a crew. You know what I'm saying? Like, through fights, through arguments, through passionate debates about content and passionate debates about, like, the direction of just the episode or the show or just anything, to still finding our way. I just think it's super dope. Like, when we made all of these announcements last week, what were some of you guys' feelings? Like, what was the first thing that came to your head?
Can't wait to get paid.
Yeah.
Straight up, man. I'm struggling, man. I got family to take care of, bro.
Yeah.
I got bills.
What about you, E?
It honestly, it didn't really hit me at first because, like, you and I are still, like, working on this live show. But I gave myself at least, like, 10 to 15 minutes just to sit back and be like, wow, we did this. Like, we've been working on this for, like, months upon months. Yeah. Like, this wasn't, like, something that was just overnight. And the fact that it happened and just to put it out and just for people to see. But then also, like, I can't lie. I guess it's a little bit of the pettiness in me. But I really enjoyed about putting it out and saying and showing them the people, individuals that supported us. Because, like, you know, there are times where we try to reach out to guests, we reach out to people, and they didn't want to come on our podcast because we were a little podcast or something like that. And that is the struggle. That's part of the struggle of our success. It's just certain people just didn't want to be involved with us because we didn't provide instant value to them. Even though over long term we provided value just of the relationships and the partnerships and stuff that we developed on our own. Yeah. But to see that, and then also like when we posted that and having like some of those people like contact us, like it made me feel good. Guys, listen, I'm gonna brush my shoulders off for us because we work too hard. We're very humble, but there are some times where it's good to just flex a little bit. 100%. And I just had that moment where I was like, yeah.
I'm not gonna lie.
What I'm saying? I can't lie. If you guys didn't call me petty for that, I don't care because we've been doing this every single weekend for 2 years straight. And
never missing an episode.
We talked a little bit about some of our struggles, but you guys really don't understand the struggle we had. Like for me personally, 2018, I had no job. Yeah. I was making only like $2,000 a month. I couldn't like. I was also out of like. I had hip surgery, and no matter what, we had to do episodes at my house
at your mom's crib
because
all
I was
the way
so. I just got out of surgery, and I was like, we can't miss an episode. Brandon drove up to my parents' place, and we did it. Like
we rocked out.
It was a struggle for 2018 for all of us. I can say.
Yeah, 2018
and just
was
like,
rough,
and for us to get to where we are now, and to know where we can go, like. Yo, sometimes you
say that shit. Sometimes
you gotta come out WWE style.
Nah, it's flex.
Come on, flex. Put them shades up.
There you go.
What about you? What were your initial thoughts?
What with the announcements, like the live show and all that? It's gonna be interesting.
Yeah, right.
Yeah.
That's my man.
That's about it.
That's it, right?
That's it.
That's about it.
I think for me, to E's point, I've been so engulfed. Like we did a live thing on IG the other day, and a lot of the fans were like, it was stupid what I said in retrospect, but I was trying to explain it. So somebody was like, E said, "Hey, so how do you feel?" And I was like, "I'm numb, but I'm happy." And the fan was like, he was like, that doesn't make any fucking sense. And I'm like, I know it doesn't, but I was trying to explain that like I was numb just because. To E's point, I'll have like these little like spurts of like, oh shit, like this is happening. But then we're so focused on the business, like, and I don't think people understand that. Like, it's kind of hard to enjoy all of this just because there's so much going on. There's so many legalities and so many just so many obstacles that could potentially just stop everything.
Like, what are some of those obstacles?
Oh man, I mean when you're dealing with like just companies and trying to negotiate and trying to get people on the same page to see the vision of something, and then also just getting the buy-in, and that's like from everyone in the room to the companies to the venue to the act, like. Even Jinx, like talking to Jinx has been like really dope, right? Like we've learned a lot about Jinx in this past few times that I don't think we would have ever even known. You know what I mean? And even getting his feedback about us and wanting to do the show and wanting to be a part of something like our first really, really big moment, I think it spoke volumes, right? Like that's when I started to kind of feel like, wow, like, okay.
Well, speaking of that, I want to ask every single one of you guys, what is your definition of success when it comes to our podcast? Because one of our fans actually asked us, I think it was Adrian. He was asking us like,
Adrian Gaskins.
I think that's one of them. There's two Adrians. There's two of them.
There's two of them. One of them starts with a G, and one of them is the other.
Yeah, I forget which one. I apologize. It's been a long day, but I want to know like, because they're always like, yo, like, what were some of the things you guys overcome in order to have a successful podcast? But I thought about that. I was like, wow, what does it even mean to be successful? Like, what is our individual interpretations of successful? Because everyone on the outside looking in, they say that we are a successful podcast. But some, like for me, I'm just like, wow, we're not even there. Like, we're not even at the point where we want to be yet.
Yeah,
so like, what is your definition of success?
I don't know how to answer that, to be honest. Only just because like I just have a vision. Like to your point, like I see where we could go just with like all of the conversations we're having and all of these new possibilities and a lot of doors are opening. I don't know. I mean, I honestly don't know.
We're powered by WeWork.
Yeah, like I you know what I'm saying? Like even that, like
success.
Yeah, like that for me was success. You know what I'm saying? Like we did something that most podcasts don't do in the amount of time. Like like we've had legitimate moments with Sci-Hi, with Royce, with Redman, with like Red and Meth, with just so many big moments that for us meant more from a content perspective. Mm-hmm. It wasn't about like money. You know what I'm saying? Like, I don't know what it was. For me, the best way I can say it is I just see the long term for us. And I think I'm more excited for that. Like, this moment for me is amazing because we did this. Like, everybody in this room did it. You know what I'm saying? Like,
yes, and everyone meaning Chris, Gianni, Kyle, Bam, Michaela, even assistance and help from our friends like Lyric.
Like, there's just so many. Shout everyone out quickly. Like there's so many people that really believed in the vision, not even just being a part of the team, but like just believed in the vision, and we took it and just went to the next level with it. Yeah. And now we're going to another level. Mm-hmm. Like when we first did that first show, at least me, I was nervous as hell, right? I feel like the same thing you said before, like, hey, this is now a new start for us. This is something completely new. It's something out of literally all of our elements. While we've performed before, we've all never performed live like this in this capacity in front of our loved ones and fans and supporters. And I'm curious for that journey because that journey is going to unfold very quickly, and it's also going to be very eye-opening how we're now perceived. So I'm not sure yet how I feel, to be honest.
Nas?
Without sounding too hubris, I think, like, to piggyback off of what everybody has said, as a team, we've done very well. Mm-hmm. And in a short amount of time, we have succeeded where most would have fell short. Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. However, I do feel like Kobe Bryant, when they interviewed him, I think like game 4, when he's like, job not done yet. Yeah. You know, when he said, hey, why you not happy? Job's not done yet. Yeah. You know, until we can all quit our jobs and just focus on this, I think then I'll be more gratified. Mm-hmm. Yeah. You know, without sounding ungrateful for what we have now. Like Kobe, man, job's not done yet. Yeah.
You planned that quote for how long? Lift your feet up. Lift your feet up.
Oh my God.
You had that in the tuck. Yeah.
No, I didn't plan that.
Yes, you did.
You're not even a Kobe fan. Just take those shoes off right now. You are not a Laker fan. You are not.
You tell me you just had the bomb Kobe quote in the tuck.
Yeah.
And the Kobe's on your feet.
Yeah, because I'm better than you.
Just pure coincidence.
Because I'm better than you. That's why.
I'm surprised, Nas. Why don't you have like a Knicks saying?
Huh? Yeah. Don't ever
the Knicks
quote
just
the
fight in
mom.
the 90s.
He used to just punch other podcasts.
Other podcasts in the face. Yeah, I mean, honestly, like I have different interpretations and thoughts when it comes to success. Obviously, from like a business perspective, we're nowhere near where I believe we can go. Yeah. Like, we're not even close. But I think the one success level that I think we've hit, and I'm so proud of us, is that we literally are impacting lives. Like when we had the R. Kelly conversation, we've had certain conversations. There have been people that are like, yo, thank you guys so much for speaking up on this. Yeah. Or thank you guys so much for talking about this because other media entities aren't speaking up about this. Or even when we have conversations about politics in a way where, you know, because people have said, they're like, we noticed you guys are trying to talk about these important matters that are happening in politics, and like you do it in a way where we can understand, and just that it's in a way that people are just happy that we're talking about important topics. And for me, like the biggest thing is like when we can impact someone's life, even if it's one day a week, that's success. Yeah. That's a success that anyone that tunes in, whether they're like, hey, you made me laugh so hard at work and you made my day better at work. Or I've been going through a whole rut for the past like week, but I always, every time I listen to your guys' podcast, like it makes me feel better. For me, that's success, is when you can impact someone's life, even if it's just for a moment. Yeah. That's success. Even if our podcast just impacts 10 people's lives, that's success to me.
We had that conversation too, though, on live when the guy, I don't even know, he didn't have a screen name, so he's probably a troll, but he said, no, real shit, Bam. He came into the live and said, oh man, y'all, he said something about, I said, yo, we were close to selling out, and this was the night before, and he said, y'all probably gonna sell 10 tickets. And I said, yo,
who threw that venom?
Yeah, it was crazy
at us.
But I said, yo, you know how happy we would be to sell 10 tickets? That means that's 10 people out there that rode. I'll take it. You know how many people they can't even get a live show to sell 10 tickets? Like, I just think bigger now. You know what I'm saying? Like, I think bigger picture. I think, like, so bigger picture. It's not even funny. Like, what people view as minuscule or less than or what they deem to be a failure, I look at, like, at least I had the opportunity to fail.
Took that idiot's legs right from under him.
Yeah, like, I just, that's just me. Like, I'd rather fail with all of y'all in this room and at least attempt it or at least have an opportunity to fail versus not even getting a meeting. You know what I'm saying? Like,
burn the boats.
Yeah, like shit could be so much worse. Like, especially talking to all these different platforms and talking to different podcasts and friends. Everyone in this room, I'm sure, is trying to start a show or trying to do something or know someone, right? And hearing their woes and then hearing what we've been through and then getting to where we are. Yeah, I'll take those 10 people. Yeah, I'll take it in a heartbeat.
Well,
I'll
let's
take
talk
it.
about those woes too, because like people don't realize like we all got jobs and lives and stuff like that in addition to what we're doing with this podcast. So how have every single one of you been able to kind of like balance that and also balance like with relationships and kids and just stuff like that? Because there are times where we spend more time with each other than we do with our own family or loved ones. Yeah. Like, so how do you guys balance that?
Honestly, for me, therapy in a good core. Like, for me, therapy has been amazing. Yeah. Amazing. I implore everyone to go and it doesn't even have to be in the conventional sense. Like, if you feel weird about going to talk to some stranger, I get it. Go find someone that can be a therapist or someone that you can flush your thoughts through and your emotions through. It really matters in this business. And I think often that this business builds the most insecurity just because you're viewed through the public eye and scrutinized for everything. Yeah. Be it your hair, your opinion, your attire.
Problem solved.
But like even that, we get killed. You know what I'm saying? Like, bald ass head. Like, I was like, fam, I'm bald. Like,
what you want me to do about it, bro?
I didn't know that you were going to therapy.
Oh yeah, hell yeah.
You should have to disclose that to your friends, man.
Why?
I didn't know that you were this damaged.
You're an associate.
I am damaged. We're all damaged.
Yeah, I didn't know that you were there, man.
Yeah, hell yeah.
Jesus.
2018 was rough, man. Like, y'all don't understand. Yo, 2018 was rough.
Yeah.
Was rough. But the fact that I felt like, and it's just crazy how the universe works. Don't get me talking all deep and shit, but I really feel like the universe works in such a funny way because I feel like everyone in this room was going through something really, really heavy in 2018. And we all kind of never knew, but we all kind of knew. And we all still found a way to kind of band together however that happened. I think it happened for a reason. So, like, even for me, yeah, therapy is important. Like, I was the type, that's why I said early on in a lot of the earlier episodes, anyone that knows me, this was something different. Like, while I was on stage, I was typically in the background. I never wanted to be in the front. So, like, these lights used to scare me. That camera used to scare me. Now I'm cool and I'm comfortable a little bit more. A lot of that is from therapy. Yeah. That shit matters.
Meditation helps too because there's a lot of times where like we come in here and like we all have our own personal issues and like there have been plenty of times where like we literally have to whatever is going on in our personal life and whatever we're feeling from our personal life, we have to shut it off because we can't project that onto each other. I mean, there have been times where we definitely have projected it onto each other.
It happens.
It happens. I mean, but that's the struggle that we go through is like knowing how to separate the things that we're going through and the trials and tribulations that we're going in our life and making sure that it doesn't affect our content in a negative way. And sometimes we literally got to just turn it off. Yeah. And we all have our different coping mechanisms. But like, I think that's important is like, I'm not gonna say exactly, but we've all had some really terrible shit happen to all of us at some point from 2018 to now. But you wouldn't know because we literally as a team say, you know, you need time off, take time off, or you know, hey, I know you're going through that. Like, talk to one of us. But when that camera goes on, like, you have to be on point. Yeah. Sometimes it's hard when you're going through something emotional to have to literally just like turn on a switch and be like, you appear happy and all that stuff in front of the camera and talk about these things with such passion and enthusiasm when on the inside you're just like, yo, I don't want to do this today.
Yeah, but the funny thing is a lot of our core fans, they've all pointed out when we've all had a bad day and they were dead on. Like,
Yeah.
they've all pointed that shit out. Like, Brandon was off today, or what was wrong? Like when me and Wilson got into that big argument, I can't remember what we were arguing about.
When we're at the tables.
Yeah, we're at the tables.
The tables.
Somebody hit me. I won't disclose the name, but he was like, "Yo, you all right, man?" Like, but you could tell it wasn't one of the like a troll. It was like, "Yo, are you all right?" type of thing. And it was like, damn, they could really see the bad days, and they could see the good days, and it's just like. The thing that I'm grateful for is even with all of that, even having like bad episodes or arguments, or even there's times where we've all argued and the conversation has made absolutely no fucking sense. They still rode. You get what I'm saying? Like I'll take that.
Shout
I'll
out to
take
you
it.
guys.
Yeah, I'll take it, man. I'm honestly just grateful, and I said it on our live. I feel like now I'm kind of walking in a cloud. Like I feel like I'm just floating in a sense. Like all of this stuff is happening so fast, and it's a good feeling, and it's just I don't know. I'm just numb right now, and I'm just grateful.
I mean, preparation leads to success. We've been doing we're having these team meetings. We're doing what we can, and like we're not perfect. I mean, we've all like people don't see like the slip ups and stuff that we do. I mean, of course, like some of the slips ups or like some of the facts and information we drop. Like it happens. Like we literally are doing this all on our own.
Yeah.
But and we don't have the luxury of like TV or a well produced content piece where you have an earpiece and the producer's in your ear. Like people don't understand. Like when you have like TV and all that stuff, like you have someone actually in your ear that's feeding you the facts and information or correcting you. We don't really have that. I mean, Chris sometimes helps us, and that's why we're like, I don't know what facts. Chris, tell us.
Yeah.
But you like that voice? I don't know. I like the sound effects.
Well, Chris does it.
The po' boy sound effects.
Chris does it differently though. Chris, while like the nice guy that in your ear that you're talking about, Chris is I'm like, Brandon, that's not wrong. Can I have the mic, please?
He's like, no.
He's like, no. So what actually happened? And I'd be like, all right, Chris, damn.
Yeah, it wasn't 1998. It was actually 1985.
Yeah,
You're way off, but that's okay. But that just shows that we're willing to accept the fact that we're wrong and stuff like that. But I'm just happy that we're able to do this together and we kind of have each other's backs. I mean, we've had a crazy 2018, 2019. But here's another thing. Like we because we're a podcast, we talk about so many different topics, right? We talk about like I said, politics, sports, music, etc. Because we're very multifaceted individuals. What is like the favorite conversation that you guys like to have, like the topics? Obviously, you're Kanye, so don't talk. But obviously, guys, I'm joking. But not really. But what are some of your guys' favorite
Jesus
topics?
is king.
Oh my Lord.
God.
All right. But what are some of your guys' like favorite topics to talk about?
For me, it's always like the deep-rooted, no pun, deep-rooted conversations, like the race conversations, the sexuality conversations.
Yeah.
Certain injustices. I'm kind of in a place now where a lot of the injustices that happen, I kind of feel like it's kind of difficult to maneuver in the conversations, just because I don't ever feel like it's ever heard. You know what I'm saying? Like I kind of feel like it's a Ferris wheel of sorts, where the same thing happens. We get outraged, we go do all these things, and then it doesn't manifest into anything. And then it's times where we talk about stuff that I can literally see, you know, obviously just through comments that we've impacted someone, or they would have maybe what we deem to be a negative perception to something, and then they kind of acquiesce to how we are thinking, and then see what we're saying, and then it changes their perspective.
I don't know, man. Movies, probably. I got movies, politics. That's what I enjoy. It's stuff that creates dialogue and debate. I don't really have I don't know, whatever. This is therapeutic for me, just coming here. You know, I can't afford therapy like Brandon.
No. Expand on that.
Yeah,
expand on that.
Well, no, because I get a chance to just talk. You know, I live in the house, you know, with my wife and two little girls.
And those little girls are
adorable. I'm rarely heard.
His kids are awesome.
Yeah, but you know, between this and the job, at some point I'll break. You know? eventually, then I'll break down and get therapy, like my mom suggested.
That's I've been saying you need therapy.
Yeah, but I can't afford it right now. So for right now,
there's some cheaper services.
Yeah,
though.
and there's a hotline.
Yo, Nas's kids are so happy that like when I see them, I'm like, Where'd this come from?
Yeah.
It definitely comes from his wife, though.
Yeah, 100%.
Yeah, 100%.
The looks, everything. Like,
Yeah, man,
everything.
I keep all my shit bottled up.
Yeah.
Bottled up
Listen, my
with.
therapist told me that that's not healthy, and in 2018, I found out that he was right. So
No,
I'll just say that to
it's
you.
It's not healthy at all, but I can't, like
Yeah.
I said.
But this is your outlet.
I need time.
Yeah,
This is your outlet.
that's pretty cool,
I
man.
mean,
I'm happy
that's
with your
dope.
outlet, man.
I didn't know that.
Yeah.
I didn't know that this
so
is your outlet.
it hurts my feelings when you guys don't answer my texts. Just to
Give
let
me
you
a
know.
hug, man.
No, don't please.
Sometimes, whoa, Nas. Sometimes you don't be reading text messages
That's
when we
true.
send. So
That's true.
I'm just saying.
Well, I'm sorry. I work.
oh,
you work too?
You work too. What are you trying?
Two children.
Hey, we work too.
You're
See
right.
what we did there?
You're right.
Double entendre.
Ooh.
Don't ask me how.
But Wilson, for you.
Wilson doesn't work. So
Wilson, for you.
Wilson has time to answer my text.
Oh,
That's true.
Lord, Wilson.
I can write your text messages for you. I have so much time.
But Wilson, for you, how is it that like you can't even talk? Like, I mean, we know some of the stuff that you've gone through throughout your life, but you can't even talk about any of it because you can't even like disclose anything that may give away like who you are.
Well, I prefer not to.
Yeah.
I know, but like how we've been able to talk about relationship stuff, family
I've
stuff,
talked about
etc.
that
Like,
stuff.
Yeah.
but
You
like
talk about
but,
one
I
night
mean,
stands.
But
That's why I
that
go.
was-
That's my stuff. don't shit on my stuff, Brandon. that's my stuff.
That's his stuff. Don't minimize his stuff.
I know, but I mean, relationship stuff, like some of the stuff we've been talking about, like that's just kind of like a whole general kind of surface level conversation. I'm talking
Yeah.
about some of the deeper conversations,
Yeah.
like you pinpointing a specific relationship that you can talk about, but you can't really because if you pinpoint it too much, somebody's gonna know who it is, who you are, and etc. Like,
Yeah, like you
you
have to
said,
be a
Nas
little
said
bit
this is an
more
outlet for him,
secretive.
and
Yeah.
so like, but you, it's like in a way, like it is an outlet, but in a way you can't fully have it be an entire outlet because you can't potentially give some information away that people are gonna find out who you are.
Yeah. I'll be honest. I'll be telling some girls. I'll be using this podcast as.
There's a select few who know who Wilson is.
So wait, there are a few
You
people.
pillow-
Yeah, because they gotta know I'm not ordinary. You know what I'm saying? So I'm like, yeah, I do a podcast. You know,
Yo, so
Oh, you're that guy.
I am that guy.
Oh my god.
I'm that guy.
Oh, you're that. Yo, if you're the guy that pulls up the episode
Great
in
game.
bed, son, you are hard.
You said what?
I said if you're the guy that pulls up the episode in bed, like, hey, see, that's me.
Oh,
right
nah. I don't do
see
all
that
that.
shadow in the background?
I don't do all that.
Shadow in the background, that's me.
Yeah.
there. That sneeze that happened at 1.4, that was me.
Yeah, I think I do more than a sneeze. And I'm more than a shadow.
At least for now.
Now I'm hurt.
Yeah. Oh my god.
But yeah, no, I use this podcast.
That's interesting.
Yeah.
Though. I would never thought that.
Yeah, you guys are like my wingman.
We are your
I'll take that.
wingman.
You know what I'm
Okay.
saying?
I'll take that.
So we give you the
Yeah.
alley-oop where you're like, you talk about, oh, women should be respected and loved, and then you pull up that episode right in bed.
Well,
Like, look at this.
Have you ever done that?
no, I've never pulled up an episode in bed, but I've definitely closed because of this podcast. I have.
What's your close percentage right now? If when using the podcast. if you had the
A good 85%.
80 that yo,
Dang.
you're shooting.
Yeah.
You're,
Wait, but is it?
And that's because of the podcast. I close 100% of the time. I'm just saying.
Wait, but are they saying that because
Yeah.
are they saying because it's like, dang, you're in a podcast, or are they like, oh my god, you're friends with regular Nas?
Well, no, they've never mentioned Nas. I was gonna throw you a bone there. They've never mentioned Nas.
Wait, hold on. Give the mic to Kyle.
Wait, what happened?
Say what you're about to say, Kyle.
So it's 100. My fault. It's 100% without it, right?
yeah, you're supposed to say that backwards.
100% without it, correct?
Hold on, I feel like I set myself up. I set myself up. Hold on. Let's reverse that. 15% of the time is because of the podcast.
Oh, my
85. Fuck it. I use the podcast all the time.
Oh my god, I'll take that. I'll take
there
that.
you go.
Oh my gosh.
Terrible.
I think.
You're gonna have to explain to me how I set myself up.
Yeah,
later.
you did.
I'm still
Yeah.
lost.
I started laughing because he recorded. I was like,
Yeah.
wait, that. And I looked, me and Kyle looked at each other. I was like, wait, that doesn't.
Yeah.
He crossed himself.
Yeah, he did. He did.
You know what? For me, for this podcast, I think the one thing I've had to like be more comfortable with is like opening up because I'm always afraid. Not really. I wouldn't say afraid, but it's always just like for example, when we have conversations about sex, when we have conversations about relationships, I don't want people to think of me in a way that I'm not.
Like you're
And-
a hottie patati.
Yeah, like I'm out here something. But it's not.
Starlet of the
It's not
night.
necessarily. Whoa. I'm of the day. No, but it's not that
I'm of the day.
it's not that like I'm afraid because people are gonna think whatever they want, but it's like I want to like there's it's so hard because it's like I don't want people to know certain things about my personal life.
Yeah.
And I've always been like that. I've always been private about my personal life. Like I always tell people, you're never gonna know if I'm in a relationship or not via social media.
Yeah.
You're not. Like I'm never gonna post them on my social media. I'm never gonna be like, oh look what Boo got me. No. Because that's something that's for me. That's
Yeah.
a private
Yeah.
thing that I can have for myself. Only I mean, clearly you guys will know, and my close friends and stuff and family, but like, even like, because I struggle with that. Like, we've had several conversations where I'm just like, okay, I got to open up about this. And then also, it's like my mom listens to the podcast and
Yeah.
stuff. And I mean, my mom's very accepting. But I think for me, it's just the fact that like having like other people watch it and then being like, oh, Erin's like into this, she's a
Yeah.
freak and da da da. But it's just like I have a career as being someone who's on TV. I have a career of someone who's like in the like an anchor, and
Yeah.
it's like a fine line I have to walk
gotta
with
be
this
careful.
podcast and my real day job. So
Yeah.
that's something that I'm like dealing with. But then I also got to the point where I'm like, there's nothing like I'm not out here wilding out on our podcast, and I feel like people should respect me for who I am at the end of the day, and anyone that wants to work with me should work with me because I'm being me.
Yeah.
And once I realized that, I'm just like, oh no, I'm gonna have fun. I'm gonna just go
I
all
agree.
out.
I agree.
I'm me, man.
All right, but
me.
before we get out of here, right?
me, man.
give me.
I'm me.
Yeah, one night when I saw E in the nightclub. Yo, I first saw. I didn't even see E. I was facing like towards the bar when my friend was like, "Yo, there goes Erin." I was like, I look back. I'm like, for it was a little weird seeing one of you guys outside the podcast, like just randomly. So I see Erin, and I'm like, oh shit, it is. And I'm like, I'm watching her. Somebody was guiding her through the place. Like she had like security.
Yeah, big time.
Somebody
was
was
this?
guiding Erin
time.
to
Where
the
was
VIP
Where
section.
was this?
Yeah.
It was a few nights ago. Nobody sent Nas an invite. This
See?
is awkward.
Hey, motherfuckers ain't my friends.
No, I wasn't even expecting to come across
know.
Wilson. It was like I was working, I was doing some work, and one of my friends, it was like an event that his friend or cousin was having, and he invited me last minute, so I went. And so, you know, like, I mean, I don't know. I guess I'm bougie. I don't like waiting online for stuff. I'm not gonna wait online for nothing. Like, I don't do that anymore. Like, I've been through that already.
we're all
like,
friends, it's all
no, I've
love.
been through that. I'm not waiting on no line for stuff, and I'm not even saying that in a bougie way. It's just like I don't got time. That's wasted time. I
Lines?
could be working.
No.
I could be working on the podcast. I could be doing something great with my life.
Word.
But I saw him. I was like, oh crap, it's Wilson. But my thing was like, oh wow, he's actually out here doing stuff.
Yeah.
Like he knows people. Look at that.
And then
Look at that.
did she give you the wave, or she was just like,
Nah. She,
No, I brought him over.
Escort him away.
she took a picture with me and then immediately made the man erase it. I've never seen that picture.
No, I told him. I was like, yo, come over. Like, it's not a big deal. I'm like, come over. And he was like, who do you know here? I was like,
No, she
oh,
treated
such
you-
and such.
you treat him like a thought. Like, yo,
He got chills. He got chills.
yo, let him in.
All right.
Yo, Wilson got chills. You go, move the rope.
I immediately regret going into this story.
Yo, not the one right there. The one right there. Move him. Yeah, he could come in.
Yo, don't touch the bottle. I'll pour it for you.
Yeah.
Oh, okay. All right. I believe you were wrapping up the show, Brandon. You want to get back to that?
Oh my gosh, you guys are
Yo, come in.
Yo, the fact that Erin had to choose Wilson to the club is the funniest thing I've
Just have to bounce it like, yo, that's my man. Let him in.
No, I know him. He's good. All right, we're getting out of here. Thank you guys for tuning in. I don't know why y'all do, but thank you.
I ain't doing that during our live show though.
Yeah,
Let me
word.
tell you that. You
Word.
got a ticket or not?
Yeah,
Sorry.
let it be clear. November 14th, there is still a waiting list. We'll still be sharing the link for it. If any people drop off, we'll be sure to check the wait list, and obviously the first come first serve off of the guest list, so you guys will see it there. As always, thank you guys for supporting us. Thank you guys for rocking out with us, for subscribing, for talking about my hairline, talking about Nas being weird. just all of it. We embrace it. We love it. Definitely for hating Wilson too, by the way. That is
Hold
important.
on. When did you get a hairline?
There's been mad jokes about my hairline.
You don't have
You're
one.
bald, man.
I'm bald now.
Yeah.
My hairline used to be popping though.
Allegedly.
I got pictures.
It's always weird when you see Brandon with like a hairline.
What's the source?
Someone
It's
else
like,
said
it's like seeing pictures of your parents when they were cool. You know what I'm saying? Like that's what it's like seeing Brandon with all his hair.
Nas is the oldest person on the fucking show, and you're talking about I'm the parent. He's the
Lies.
oldest person.
Well, yeah.
Yeah, Mr. Fiber
So,
over here.
whatever.
Nas is about to buy a nice car in his middle-age
Yeah,
crisis.
100%. So, but no, seriously, thank you
Going off
guys
the
for
deep
tuning in. As always, hit the notification button to be notified for the latest to the greatest episodes. Comment, let us know what you guys think. Tell us some of your best moments that you've had with us and share with us, and maybe some of our worst ones. That said, I'm Brandon Killabh BHL.
I'm Erin Ashley Simon. Always, please sign up for our newsletter. We actually may be doing a 2-ticket giveaway, and the only way that you can enter is if you're part of our newsletter. So go into You see? I see? Okay. Go in the description section and sign up for our newsletter, and that's the only way that you can actually enter into this contest. So, and we'll let you know via the newsletter when the contest is going to be. So, sign up.
Word.
Nice.
Young Gargamel, holla at me.
Oh, my God.
I am Wilson.
And we out. Peace.
See you guys on the 14th of November.
Hey.
Go ahead, Brandon.
Oh, yeah. We're back. Sorry. Abrupt entrance. Next week we will officially be off this is our first time taking off. Obviously we have a lot going on. It's for you guys. It's for you. So stay tuned, but we will be back the following week with a bunch of new announcements, a bunch of new content, and a bunch of new dope shit.
Hey.
Nice.
I bought that, and we're out in that voice.
Brandon busts in abrupt entrance.
I'm ending here.
This dude was reading off a script. Brandon.
Abrupt entrance.
You're turning this into something else. All right, bye, guys.
Grassroots.